Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Petra's Fun in the Fiesta. Yay! I know, that sounds kind of funny. Anyway, welcome to Petra's Happy Place. That's the name of my channel. And again, I am taking a page out of Whippy Chick Julie's book and doing card chats, but I'm calling them Fun in the Fiesta because that's what we're having. We're having a fiesta! No, we're not. We're really not. How much fun can you have with Diet Dr. Pepper? That's the best! That's what I say. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Just finished my lunch. I usually like to eat my lunch before I do anything else. Yeah, that's just the way I do things. I've got 3 channels I want to quickly shout out, and I will, once I load this up, I will put those links in the description box, and so you can go visit them. But I'll just tell you the names of their channels if you want to just go check them out. Nancy from Nancy's Hooked on Crochet. Nancy and I have been talking now for months and months, probably close to a year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nancy, but I think it's been close to a year. And she has started really doing a lot of videos. I think she kind of backed off a little bit, and now she's really picking up the pace again, and she's doing a lot of stuff. You guys got to go check her out. She finds the coolest bargains. Oh my word, she found tons of ice yarn. And no, not ice yarn. Yeah, I know she found ice yarn, but one time she actually found paint box yarn at the thrift store. Wow. I wish I lived in her area. Anyway, so Nancy from Nancy's Hooked on Crochet. You can just type that in the little search bar or write it down on a piece of paper and go back to it. Yarn Geek with Ginger. Now, I don't even know why I have to shout her channel out. But she asked me to, and so I will. I mean, her channel's twice as big as mine. But she has a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun over there on her channel. And then another one I wanted to shout out was Dittmer's Knittery. Dittmer's Knittery. And you spell that Dittmer''S Knittery. And she's a newer podcaster. And she's got, as of today, I think she's got, I want to say 5 videos up. It might be 4 or 5 videos she's got it. So you can check her out too. So what am I working on? Well, I decided to bring my, oh, look what I got done. Y'all remember this? I was working on it yesterday, and I told you I would finish with it last night. Actually, I finished it this morning because I was sewing in the ends. I was even thinking about throwing my little notions pouch into my bag and just wearing all the loose ends, just taking it to work. If I didn't have time, I was going to sew in those ends when I got to work. But I was able to finish it before I left. So this is my sweater, and I don't even remember. Yes, I do. I must have gone like, around, and I don't even remember how I did it. Yeah, it's all one piece. So I started with down front, measured across onto the back, and then just started crocheting away as big as I wanted. Now, I did this one originally thinking I was just going to leave it like as a really oversized vest wrap type thing. But I finished it, and then when I put it on, I said, no, I want some sleeves. Now, for those of you that saw my yarn haul from that little yarn store, I got some burgundy yarn, and it occurred to me today, after I got to work, of course, to see if it will match any of these shades in this little sweater. Because if it does, then y'all, I'm going to be making a matching hat and cowl. And that is going to be my winter ensemble. Because Mr. Happy even pointed out, he says, goodness gracious, he said, you don't even need a winter coat this year. And I said, well, probably not. Because I am loving this. And it's nice and warm. Now, I did use double crochet. And I'm thinking if there's, you can see skin through here, but if I wanted it thicker, as in fewer holes, I probably could have used double crochet, but then I would have had to use more yarn, and I'm not redoing this thing. Ain't happening. So I brought with me to work on, though, my Ophelia Talks Autumn Walk. And I was going to start working on it because she released the next section. She released it. And here is all the rows I got to do, 56 through 84. And I have less than a week to do it. I've been pushing it. I really have been pushing it. So, I have them, and I have the directions. So if I have time, I'll do it today. If not, I'll start on it tonight. But I have decided that I'm not going to push myself with that. Not going to push myself because I want to enjoy it. And if I've got other projects on the hook and I'm just trying to get through with that to finish it, I'm not enjoying it. I want to be able to take my time and work through it. Maybe I need to go on another road trip to the yarn store in Nashville. Make sure that Mr. Happy is driving. That way, I can crochet the whole time. That is like 2 hours down, 2 hours back, uninterrupted crochet time. And I can get, probably 8 rows, if not more, done. Yeah, because it takes a little time to do those rows. Yeah. So, I wanted to talk, because it was interesting, this morning on Ginger's Live, which she does every morning at 5 a.m. her time. That would be 6 a.m. my time. And when I have to go to work, I get up and I watch that for a little while until I get ready for work. Anyway, we were talking this morning about the Christmas tradition of the hide the pickle. And we started talking about just odd Christmas traditions. And I have one that I want to share. But before I do, I want to say I love traditions. And unfortunately, ever since I got married back in 87 to my then husband, and I was out of my parents' home, I haven't had like a real traditional Christmas. I mean, we had a German Christmas, and I loved the way we celebrated our Christmases, and we celebrated Christmas Eve. I hadn't had that. And I thought, okay, well, once I have children, then I can instill in my kids, the Christmas traditions. Now, my first husband was, he didn't want to have, won't go into all the details. Just suffice it to say, I haven't had any Christmas traditions. And now I'm married to Mr. Happy, and he's the kind of person who's like, If you want to do it, do it. It's fine. Well, but it takes more than just me to have a Christmas tradition. And since Dad's passed away and Mom has gone downhill, they haven't had Christmas traditions in years and years. I mean, so I think the time is gone for me to even start having Christmas traditions, because I think most of you agree that without children in the home, it doesn't have the same excitement, if you will. And that's what I miss. I miss that, that fun, that build-up, that excitement. So one thing I had tried was on Christmas Eve. This was back when my kids were growing up, like elementary school through high school, and they really loved part of it. They loved the part that was about food. That's the only thing that they liked. But I thought the idea of getting a pair of new pajamas that year, okay, and you open them up, and then you're sitting around and we called it a poo-poo platter, but it was just all finger food type stuff, and had a table set up, and this was the one special time where you could bring the foods with your plate, and everything was paper plates, into the living room, and we would watch a Christmas movie. And it would be normally, something like It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street, something like that. Well, the kids hated the whole idea of having pajamas. And then they expressed and I think that was a little bit their dad saying, I don't wear pajamas. Why do you have to make them wear, what you want them to wear? Anyway, so then they didn't like the idea of having to watch a Christmas. Well, okay, we'll watch a movie. Why does it have to be a Christmas movie? And so they just started watching any random movie. And that's the whole idea of watching, having Christmas Eve, doing something special. The only thing that lasted was eating. Anyway, so when my kids were little, and after I was first married, we would have a family reunion with my mom's brother and sister. One lives in Columbus and one lives in the Nashville area. And we would do a family gathering, a family reunion, anywhere between Christmas and New Year's. That was my wonderful, wonderful time. I loved that when we did it. Now, once the kids got older, everything changed. But when we were growing up, we did this. And we started with the white elephant. No, first we started with drawing names. And we would draw names, but it got to be difficult to do that because some people would be there one year and not the next year, and we wouldn't see them, and then we wouldn't be able to exchange names. And so that kind of got put to the wayside. Then we just not numbered our gifts, but we would buy one gift valued at a certain dollar amount for a male or female, and then put it underneath the tree, because at the time there were just as many males as females. And then my one aunt would buy a little something for all of the kids. So that worked for a little while until some of the kids starting to become teenagers and they wanted to be included in the gift exchange, so it ended up, you buy gifts. If you want to buy gifts for somebody, you just bought them. But then we did a white elephant. Now, this was a special white elephant because we wouldn't do like a gag gift, okay? All of us would get something nice, okay, for male or female. And the fun of it is that, you know, if you're a couple, you got to steal the nicer gifts, you know, or pick a gift from underneath the tree. So it was a blast. We had so much fun. I mean, it was a way to see the older generation interact with the teenagers, and my generation were like at each other, you know, because there was my brother and then I have a cousin, and then all of us were like vying for the same gifts, you know, and then the spouse would steal for the other spouse, and they were conniving. It was so much fun. One year in particular, there is a point to the story. One year in particular, somebody threw in a pair of white men's briefs. White men's briefs. And my one aunt, who I favor in looks and stature and everything, she's the one that pulled it. Now, I don't think she's the one that I know she's not the one that pulled it up. But when she did it, she was like looking at it and going, what is this? And she just didn't know what to do. But then, you guys, it was the funniest thing. She marched off like she was upset with those things in her hand. Like she was really upset that she drew something so dumb. But she appeared back and she had pulled them on top of her slacks and was wearing them and laughing so hard. Tears were coming down. Everybody burst into laughter. We were having so much fun. Not at her expense, but, it was just hilarious. And after we got done with all the gifts in there that year, we decided that whoever drew that gift, because it was going to be in every single year, and and that whoever drew the gift would then take the boxers home with them and initial it and put it, either by a fabric pen or, embroidery or some way, and then and initial it and put the date or the year, that it was done. That came to be the gift everybody wanted. I mean, we had stuff like $50, $60 back massagers and foot baths with a whole kit or a whole face, all these really expensive gifts, crystal bowls and stuff. Everybody wanted to get those shorts. And people were stealing these white boxer shorts. It was hilarious. We had so much fun until we didn't do the things anymore. And yeah, it was very sad day in the family. But, hopefully, see, I can't even say. I don't know as if we will ever have family reunions again, because the family dynamic is not the same, and it will never be the same. And with no children, and my parents' generation, they're getting older. My dad had passed away. My one uncle has been diagnosed with some kind of bone cancer, and he's a doctor, and nothing phases him. He doesn't talk about it, but he has cancer. My aunt has had both hips and both knees replaced now and shoulder surgery, and she is getting up there in age, and everybody is getting older and their health is really going downhill quickly. My generation doesn't even look the same. I've got a new spouse, no children. My brother's daughters are college age, and they wouldn't be involved, and I mean it just wouldn't be the same. And that generation, the younger generation, has no interest in doing reunions or Christmas gatherings, which is really, really sad. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the boxers issue today, talking about Christmas traditions. I just can't, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. So, my question to you is, do you have a Christmas tradition? And if you do, tell me just in a couple words. You don't have to write a novel, but just tell me in a couple words what it is, and tell me if you still do it or if it's been discontinued. That would be kind of cool to know. So remember, I said 3 channels: Nancy's Hooked on Crochet, Yarn Geek with Ginger, and Dittmer's Knittery. Go check out their channels, throw some yarn in their window, aka subscribe to their channel. And go have fun today. Talk to you guys later. Bye.